Episode 14 is brought to you by Sonic Hard Seltzers, Dick Cheese, Robert's Ducklings Farm, and many, many more, including the Scheuneman brand. Nah, I'm fucking around. But we got Marquise Beatty.
Whoa.
That. Robert fucking Brown. We got
Good.
in the guest spot, and we're just gonna fucking... I got some Chronicles that I want to discuss that we've gone through together because I couldn't tell the stories without you being here. But I know you're fucking distracted waging war over your phone on your fucking little war simulation game.
Shout out to Conflict of Nations.
Dude, do you want to talk about it so you can get it out of your fucking system, dude?
We'll leave it out for this one.
All right. Maybe in the next episode we'll talk about your conflicts with Chad and the Russian army.
Hey, North Korea, shout out North
Korea. Shout out Kim Jong, his brother, his sister. Didn't he send his father to get eaten by dogs or something?
I know his dad died of some crazy shit, but did you know they just got their first case of COVID?
Nah, dude, I didn't they not report it? They've been had COVID cases. They're just not reporting it.
I feel like they really never got it, bro. They're a hermit. They're a hermit country.
You think they're just so secluded from everyone else that it just didn't get there?
I feel like they had an agent or just someone come back.
But I feel like
it just spread like wildfire. Because again, they're contained so bad that
I mean, that would kind of make sense, but at the same time, it makes kind of more sense that a country like North Korea would want to just say, oh, we didn't get it, and I don't pee. And
I just feel like they wouldn't be able to hide it that long, so many people dying. You know what I mean? And then I feel like they would have been told us.
But people are already dying there by the hundreds. You know what I mean?
But they just out of nowhere just started saying, yeah, people got COVID bad now.
So they're admitting it? They're like, yeah, we got it?
That's why I feel like it's truthful, because they were a hermit. What you think, Marquise?
Bro, I'm not into this stuff. That's why I ain't even talking. I'm just...
Marquise doesn't even like to spout his opinion.
I didn't even know they just found out they had the first case of COVID and shit like that. So
you don't have any opinions on North Korea? You think they should just keep going how they do? You don't think?
Obviously not. No, but I have no say.
Why are you standing up for Kim Jong Un and everything he's done to those?
That's why I have nothing to say.
It's kind of I kind of agree in this sense, though. It's kind of like those countries that we leave, those islands where we leave the natives to their own demise.
Are you talking about the North Sentinel Island or whatever?
Yeah, and there's more of those. It's just,
but we just let them do their thing because they can't possibly affect us.
But
except for when a reporter goes there and gets gunned down by bow and arrows.
Well, North Korea isn't really affecting us, is it? And
they watch movies about nuking us.
The only time they threaten us is when we keep saying that we're gonna just, you know what I mean?
Dude,
if we left them alone and just let them keep dying, then they'll die off.
Have you seen the videos of them in a huge stadium watching movies with musical performances, and on the screen you can see nukes being launched and sent over to our coast, and everybody cheers when that happens. And I heard that the targets they shoot at in North Korea are literally American soldier and citizen targets. I don't think they like us over there.
Well, I'm sure those little islands, they be having fantasizations of their god coming down and crushing everybody.
I swear to God, if I could just spend one day in New York with this fucking arrow. Oh my God.
Go nuts. Oh shit, bro. Because that preacher, he didn't even get to really talk to them.
No, he didn't even get to read a verse.
They noticed they had scouts, you know what I mean? They had people already watching.
Well, that's not the only. People do that on their own too, and just go out and scout and end up dying.
But that's starving to death or something. I think it's so interesting that we still have communities and civilizations that are still living how we used to live back in the day. I swear to God, if you start sending missiles are you looking something up?
No.
I thought you were just going to send a missile to Chad or something.
That's what he's about to do.
Explain the game, because I know it's going to be an issue.
He's so addicted.
So just explain what's going on.
Okay, listen. So it's a real-time game. You got to, stay on it.
Online players and
so,
shit.
So if I move, I can't even explain. I'm a country. You choose out of 64 different countries, 100 countries, and then you recruit units, and then you send them out in real time. So you're waiting. So you got to always just be making sure you're not getting fucked over or destroyed by an army.
It's like an online strat. By the way, you might need to keep it just a tiny bit closer, but that's good. But it's like an online strategy game. You set up an army, you set up a plan for how you're going to take over real world countries
Versus other people. So like they're on there. So if someone's sitting on their phone all day, they have an upper hand on me because I have things to do.
The less of a life you have in real life, the bigger army and fucking massive domination you hold in that game.
Exactly. So I'm pretty low on the spectrum in this game.
Yeah, you're too busy fucking catching ducks.
So when I do have the time, I try. I really do. Like it sucks when I hop back on after 12 hours and I see like half my nation is just destroyed by some fucking little country called Chad.
Oh shit,
Fucking
my
Chad.
nation has
Shout out
starved to
Chad.
death. Fucking shout out Chad. Fucking Sonic Seltzers, you know what I'm saying? But
Sonic Seltzers.
I've heard of people.
Let me sip one. You got one up here?
Try it. Yeah, we're sponsored by Sonic Seltzers today.
Your cap, are you really?
No, I fucking wish. We're sponsored straight by Scheuneman. You know, you see the jeans, you see the fucking vibes.
That's disgusting.
No, bro, that's the joke of it is they're trash, and I thought they'd be good. I saw Sonic, and they tricked me with the branding. I was just like, sweet
It's
slushy.
like their hot dog water.
It tastes like hey, can you wring out a hot dog in a styrofoam cup and let me sip that?
And then they still sell the hot dog.
Like, we got you, but I'm not giving you the dog.
You gotta pay another $2.
Yeah, you got the dog on the sign.
You
Yeah.
want chili like another $2.
And then if you don't buy the dog, it's just gonna be some guy in the back of the line that gets a dried out vein.
Someone's gonna get that dried ass
Gonna
dog.
bite into it. It's gonna be like taking a
And
bite
that's
of a
how
bugle.
Slim Jim was made.
Ew, Slim Jims. You ever
out
get a wet Slim Jim?
Get like a Slim Jim full of fat.
No.
You never
Ew,
got like
nah,
the one
I've
where
never
it's like
gotten
munchy, bro. Like it's like
the bad
wow.
steak at
You're
Chipotle.
like, wow, like I got the fat of the Slim Jim for once.
That's
like, it was like,
fucked.
really nasty.
Because it's already extra meats
Yeah,
being
it's
put
just-
together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I think the wet ones are gross because you peel it open and like oil is just dripping from it. And it's like discolored and shit. You see how addicted he is? He's about to fucking put $20 in to get a nuclear missile so he can take down China.
Hiroshima, I'm coming for you.
Dude, you're gonna recreate Hiroshima? Do you think Hiroshima was warranted?
Oh, 100%.
They weren't gonna give up.
No Americans should have died on that soil, just like
I mean,
it happened.
dude, we would have lost so many more lives.
Too many. You seen what happened on D-Day?
Well, not only that, but the way the Japanese army fights, like they will not surrender. There were still people in bunkers, not like believing that the war was still going on, and they were still going about like they were soldiers, and that's how you know those motherfuckers aren't going to give up.
One of the biggest stories was like these three dudes, actually, three Japanese soldiers, and they were hiding out in caves, and they would go raid villages around in the name of like the Japanese Imperial.
I heard about
and
this.
then like the police rounded up like one of them, I'm pretty sure, and killed another. And then the last dude was like an officer, and then he went out like a G, but they eventually caught him, and he like reestablished into society and realized they lost. But like,
So wait, they understood that he thought he was doing the right thing, so they didn't
they
charge
thought
him?
they were still at war. Yeah, exactly. So you can't really charge someone who thinks they're at war doing something that.
He was pretty much just going out and doing mass shootings.
No,
Or was he like
wasn't
hitting
he
strategic
was just
points?
Stealing,
Was
he
he
was
like, I'm hitting up the
stealing
airport
food. He was
today?
stealing food from villages to keep his.
Oh, I thought he was going out and like attacking the community, like fucking
No.
throwing big lighters at walls of businesses to try and
Find
tear
any
them down.
American soldiers to kill. So yeah, I'm assuming if he found an American though, it would have been a good fight.
Jesus, I mean, yeah, but what I was saying about the Sentinel Island, it's just crazy to me that there's people that are still living how we did when shit like started. Like there's this whole world full of like responsibilities and jobs and technological advances that's going on, but these people are just playing in the fucking woods, like building huts and shit. Like
I'm about to get a little
hate us.
I'm about to get a little controversial here.
Do it.
But like, yeah, okay. Like, see, like they're a perfect experiment of what would happen with the Native Americans. Nothing would have changed. You know what I mean? They would have kept to their societies and their beliefs because they're so closed. You know what I mean? Closed.
So-
I'm not even trying to say they're closed. You get what I'm trying to say?
Is the
Closed
controversial
culture.
part of it you
Nah,
pretty
I
much
mean,
saying
Native-
if we wouldn't have stepped in and genocided
Right.
them, we would have just
I don't
been.
believe it was a genocide. No, it was a war. It was,
Well, yeah. We've had this whole debate before.
I believe it was 100% a war. I mean, they had a military. It just wasn't the military that the Americans had at that time. But I mean, it was.
We were just way
comparable.
better.
It's not like we mopped them. They fought back. There was hella stories about. So I mean, a lot of American soldiers being killed by them.
I mean, not only did they
killed us.
fight back, they did some brutal shit.
I mean, like we can't even blame them for the brutal things they did because the French at the time would pay them. I'm pretty sure it was the French would pay them for every scalp they brought of of a British. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how they got their payment. So I mean, but that's a brutal way of getting some payment. Am I wrong or right? And that's their beliefs. I mean, you can't even like really think like. I mean, like.
So France was pushing the Native Americans to keep going against.
We did too. I mean, not even us, the British. I mean, we separated from the British, but yeah, I mean, everyone used the natives, and the natives used us. I mean, we were all at war. Like, let's be honest. Like, we can't just say we genocided them. It's not like the Jews. The Jews didn't. It would.
There were tribes of them that would have fought on sight if they saw us. So it's not like it was just we were pulling up on them and just massacring them.
The massacre of the Jews a genocide if the Jews had the Israel army.
And they were fighting against.
You know what I mean? If they had all the tanks and the soldiers and the helicopters and
it's also if
back, it wouldn't be a genocide because it would be a war. And then if the Jews lost the war and the Germans kept killing the Jews.
It starts to be different if there's like one, let's just say, team that has a goal in mind and then another team that also has a different goal in mind that like, and they butt heads. But it's a genocide if you just attack a group of people that's just chilling.
At the end of the day, we didn't have the goal of wiping them off the planet. We had the goal of taking their entire land from them.
Yeah, and
we weren't genociding them. We were at war with them for land, and we won. I mean, and I just hate that we get this backlash for being a country that did that, even though it happened in the South America, the Aztecs. We know about the Aztecs. Like, everyone kind of forgets about those guys, the people that would sacrifice babies in their enemies' hearts.
And the Indians did that too.
For
all the tribes were
name
different.
Of rain, and they killed each other. Like they knew about war before us. We just had better weaponry. They killed each other. They would bow and arrow. They would enslave their people. You can look it up today. And the Aztecs would enslave. They owned a lot of South America. A lot.
The only thing that tweaks me out kind of is when people just want to lump all of them together. Like if you say the Indians were just one thing, like they'll be like, no, the Indians were completely peaceful. They only cared about the earth. Like maybe some of them were.
Oh yeah.
But some of them would sacrifice babies and eat brains.
Europeans believed in peace too, but not all of them. Like at the end of the day, I think humans are war driven once we need something. We came, the Mayflower, we came, and there was peace at first, but then more people started coming from Britain because Britain didn't let us have our own religious values. No one could have their own religious values. That's why America was founded. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when it comes down to it, we are looking out for ourselves and the betterment of our society. And if something comes in the way of that, then, I mean...
We have the most immigrants. We take in the most immigrants a year. You know what I mean? Like, I think, like, America was founded on that point of just letting people come in. And, like, what we did to the natives, I'm not going to sit here and say was wrong. We did some fucked up shit, bro.
We overstepped a bit.
We did. We went harder than we had to.
Plus, just
for sure, but we made sure that we had less casualties. That's what we try to go for, which they would have went to for. If the Indians could have won that war, no one could tell me that they wouldn't have treated us the same.
Yeah.
Not only would they have not given us reservations, they would have just kicked us off the land.
I don't think.
What I mean?
I think as a whole, they would be like, yeah, no, fuck you. I don't think there would be like squashing of a beef. But I have heard stories of like POWs in that time. They would like capture someone and they would be like a prisoner for however long, and then eventually, like, there's stories of them doing specific things that like made them think like, oh, this guy's kind of chill, or like pleased them. And if you did something like cool enough to them, they would just let you go.
Skillful. Oh no, and sometimes they'll take you into the tribe.
Exactly.
If you wanted to, you know what I mean? If you believed in them.
You guys are so goofy.
What are you talking about, Marquise?
Just a full on.
Marquise, you gotta spit sometimes, bro.
I don't know.
I was watching.
I don't know it.
Marquise, freestyle right now.
Facts over
No,
here. I
but-
don't
but
know.
We aren't even
so,
though.
Let me just ask you a question. Do you think what happened to the Indian? Would you take that back?
Yeah, that's a loaded fucking.
What? Yeah. What? Like, what are you? What?
If you could stop what happened to the Native Americans, would you?
Yeah, would you? Do you want the Indian War to
And
have
then what?
happened?
Like, switch it to what? Anything I wanted to be, or like what?
just how it
We
would
just
have
have this
gone.
land forever. Like we never. So how we do with the Sentinel Islands, we did that with America. So we wouldn't have North America. We'd probably be British people. I'd probably be an African actually.
We'd probably not exist.
For real.
Our-
but
So you're just meaning if I could just flip it the other way?
But no, like what I'm kind of asking is, how do you feel about it? Do you think
Would
it
you
was
have
a
s-
complete wrongdoing,
I
or do you
mean-
think it had its bad and it had its bad things, but at the
That's
end
what I
of the
said.
day, it was
I
a
don't
good
have
thing?
nothing to really say. I don't.
Okay, two things. Number one, he's pretty much saying like, do you think it's worth it to have just left them alone and let them be, for us to pretty much not exist, or America to not exist in the way that it does today?
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wanted to say is, we also don't really claim to know that we're like speaking facts, or we're not like preaching on a milk box or whatever.
I dropped
But
any
we're-
URL.
we're just talking. So people understand that we're just chill.
I didn't
If
mean,
you
like,
could have
facts,
disagreed with anything I said, like if you were just like, oh yeah,
like
then
stuff
say
that you know about.
Yeah, no, I don't know shit.
Like at the end of the day,
But I'm gonna try and at least sound
what I'm
like
trying
it.
to get at is my point is that I feel like what happened in the Native American wars, it was okay. Like I'm okay with it at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, I'm okay with the way life is now, but I don't know the other way. If it would be the other way,
I think we'd
I'm
be in
not
a
saying,
completely
like-
different world. I hate thinking of like the injustices that happened in that war, but I do think that if that wouldn't have happened, then
People would have been still
don't-
sacrificing babies' hearts.
well, I just think
Gods.
we would not have progressed this much. It would have been backlogged so much at the very least. Like,
Because of the wars and shit that improved
yeah,
our
and
years.
like,
But that's not even what I'm more trying to get at. I'm just trying to get at, like, you know, like, do you think all the unjustified things that happened during those war mean that war was a atrocity?
were the
It
ends
shouldn't have happened.
Were the ends
You know what
worth
I mean?
the yeah?
Like, it shouldn't have happened because of the bad things that happened. Or do you think, like, okay, those bad things happened,
It's actually like, no matter how you answer this question, like you can't.
you're going to get hate.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's a fucked up situation.
dude, like
We're
I don't
gonna
get
get hate.
his
Just
fucking
put
brain
Marquise
right.
into the
Like,
fucking-
dude,
We put
I
him
mean,
into
we
the
were just
fire.
talking about it came up for
I mean, you gotta just. I'm just trying to say we gotta loosen up and just like just talk. We don't have to know everything we're saying is 100% correct or anything. Just
That's not what I meant.
speak
I'm
your
sorry, yeah,
mind.
What I was trying to get at is, like, I was watching Steven Crowder and he was talking about how Thanksgiving isn't a racist holiday, isn't bad, and that's what I agree with. And
I can agree with a lot of what he says, Steven Crowder, but then sometimes he just goes
he's
far.
too conservative, and that's why I wouldn't call myself a conservative, because not all his conservative values.
Yeah,
approach to
I'd
me.
stay in the middle, hardcore. Like I don't.
I'm
not
a
married to
patriot.
any
I'm a
beliefs.
patriot. I just, whatever is good for me, you, Marquise, and his mom, my mom, everyone around us, the common person, is good for us. Then it's good for America. You know what I mean? To make sure we progress as America whole.
Yeah.
Like if we went to war, we could survive. If we if we had another Great Depression, we could survive, et cetera, et cetera.
I just can't believe
through these
Kevin
times as
Samuels
Americans.
died.
Kevin Samuels.
Just
Holy
fucking
shit.
R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. Marquise, do you know who Kevin Samuels is?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Robert put me on to Kevin Samuels, and I would watch his videos all the time, just out of pure entertainment. Like us, Okay, I wasn't.
Pull up a picture of Kevin Samuels.
I wish I could. I mean, we could. You're the producer. Do you want to pull up a picture in this part and like drop a little picture? And can you do that?
I'll show you a picture of him. Just show him like right here, Kevin Samuels. Here, I'll show you.
Oh well, you can. Yeah, you can do that. I thought you were talking about like.
I'll send him a picture of him so he can drop.
Oh yeah. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, we should try and do that because we're trying to upgrade the podcast. If you can't tell, we're trying to.
He was Is my shit still going? Yo.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I thought I pulled on it.
Oh, I think you're good.
Some good mics, bro. You've been okay. I see you, boy.
Yeah, you see us.
Videos coming together, y'all.
We're gonna get it looking nice. We're gonna get a table. We're gonna
keep it watching. I promise y'all, this is gonna be well worth it in the end.
Watch the climb. We're creating an empire here.
Podcast 187, and we're over here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a whole different ball game, dude. You should have.
Different ball
The
game.
first episode, we were like, we didn't.
Rest in peace, but I don't
He
know.
said rest in
All right, so
But,
this dude used to so he was very controversial because if you would hop on his podcast, it would be a one-on-one,
Okay.
and
Keep talking.
he would be honest with you. He wouldn't. Hey,
He said grab the box.
Keep going.
downstairs. That's empty.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Oh, you can't. Okay, yeah, okay. Listen, so this dude, he was
Man wants the vodka. Goddamn.
yeah, it's speaking to me.
Oh my.
It's controversial. So he would hop on this podcast and you would start talking to him. You would ask you questions stuff. He would ask you about yourself. You'd be like, "What's your age?"
Yeah.
You would answer with your age, and then the women who would hop on his show would have kids or they would have something, and then they would be expecting a relationship with a man who makes 12 figures or 50 figures, and they have kids, and they want like a 20-year-old, a muscular man. You know what I mean? He's trying, and he tells them that they need to improve their life because they don't offer anything to the table for this. Like, he's saying it's more than just a talkative level and an emotional level you can have with them, because at the end of the day, as a man who's spending most of his time trying to make 50 figures and focusing on that money, you don't want a girl who has 2 kids. You don't want to try to adopt that with a girl who's 250 pounds. You know what I mean? And he really comes at him from a harsh way, but at the end of the day, like, he tries to get it over on them.
Okay, yeah.
So were you explaining low value and high value women?
So like high value women. So you're making good figure. You probably don't have kids. You're in good shape, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Just you're actually focused on a good lifestyle.
He would just look at things from a very straightforward way. Just like, what are the numbers? How much does this person make a year? What do they look like? What's their waist size? Like, he would ask questions that were kind of hard to answer to get down to like, not only hard to answer but hard to ask. And then he would just be trying to figure out like, okay, this. He would pretty much just straight out say like, oh yeah, that's a low value woman. She's worth about it's been a minute since I watched one.
You wouldn't judge them actually on a scale like that. It would be a high value or a low value. There wasn't ever a 1 to 100.
But he would be telling girls who are like complaining that they can't get a man because such and such. He would be like, well, here's why you can't get the man that you're asking for, which would always be someone that makes like over $100,000 a year. He'd be like, you can't expect some rich, beautiful, amazing, charming dude to come and want you if you're working at McDonald's and don't put any like effort into bettering yourself.
Because it's not gonna.
I mean, it's just being blunt about shit. I mean, that's not really
exactly. And so,
and usually he would only go hard.
Know how this generation is. Let's all be honest. You know what I mean? Like they don't want it like that. No one does. Everyone wants to feel comfortable in their skin.
And he would usually only go hard on them if they said like, I deserve a man that makes $500,000 a year.
And that's the thing. He wouldn't just say you're nasty and then be like, yeah, that's it. He would tell them what they need to do, and they just would disagree. They would be like, no, I think I do deserve a man who's making this much, and it's really kind of crazy. Like, like I know you shouldn't be judging people off all that, but that does matter. Like at the end of the day, I don't want a girl who's not going to be able to provide for me anything. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to go.
Almost same page type deal.
There's a reason why I don't go to a homeless shelter to pick up women. You get what I mean?
That's how he would pretty much say that, like, to a rich guy, that's what these average women are. Like,
they're not going to listen. Like Tom Hanks, he's not going to McDonald's to find his beauty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He
would going to run into his wife at McDonald's.
The whole message was pretty much just like, listen, you need to better yourself if you are going to expect something better than your worth. And like I don't necessarily agree with everything he would say, but
Exactly.
he is not as bad as people like wrote him off to be, because he would just get like he would get mad at like dad shit. And I mean like little forms of disrespect that
He got
some
on
people-
men too. Hey, let's put
Yeah,
that
no,
out there.
he
Let's
would-
put that out there
he
because
would-
we only said women. He did get on men. If you were a man and you
he'll
joined
ask
his
you how
line-
big your dick is, like
Yeah, bro. Like he didn't do it either way because it matters. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, as humans, we need to just fucking be okay with saying these things do matter to us. Because at the end of the day, you women go. You can say you don't care about dick size, but you go and talk to your girls about it. Or the money. You say you don't care about money, but you talk to your girls about it if he doesn't pay for this or he asks you to pay for that. That's something you would tell your girls. You get what I mean? And
Yeah.
at the same time, they would say money doesn't matter. But it does. That's what it.
money
it
doesn't
truly
matter,
does.
but when you have a lot of money, you know how much easier it is to have interest from females and shit. Like, it's also, I think he was trying to preach like, don't feel entitled to shit. Really,
He
like,
was trying to preach do better. He was trying to turn people like you and me and common people into like people who want better for ourselves. Like, because these women were on the market looking instead of trying to better themselves, or these men were on the market looking for women.
we're saying I'm
instead of
not the
better-
problem. Why are all
Exactly.
these guys having problems? And
And instead of working on themselves, they're spending all this time on the market. And when they could better themselves and have people applying for them, you get what I mean? Instead of going for people are going for them.
also, it'd be going hard because the people came in looking for help. Like, they're usually looking for either relationship advice or how to get into a relationship advice.
Always disagree, though.
And
They always disagree.
I'm trying to remember like specific little snippets from his show, but it's been so long.
God damn.
Oh,
Hold
fuck,
up,
what is
hold
that?
up,
What
hold
is?
up. Okay. I think she says she has like kids or something. And she's like, no, she says, I'm looking for a man who makes like 20 figures. And he's like, God damn. God.
I'm trying. I need that. That was like the funniest thing ever. But I'm trying to remember the specific. It'll take too long, but you can try. But it was something like this lady was like, yeah, I expect to get a guy that makes more than 6 figures and that'll take care of me and be there for me. And then he'd be like, so if he's going to make all the money and take care of you and you don't want to work, are you going to like take care of the household? And she'd be like, why should I be expected to do that? And then he was like, God damn it, you can't make this shit up. And like the way he said,
Actually,
said,
around.
You can't make this up. Hold
he was
on.
like, God
Hold
damn
on.
it.
Oh, I got
now,
it.
Now, okay.
Fucking ads, man.
All right, keep going. Keep,
I wonder if they get ads in the middle of our podcast. I have
wonder if
YouTube-
he's still making money off these ads.
I mean, oh yeah. So
Why
he
the fuck
died in a hotel room with a
Wait, what happened?
Okay, so Kevin Samuels, the guy we've been telling you about,
Oh yeah. Was in
He-
a hotel room or
he
something?
died in a hotel room from like a heart attack while he was with a high value woman. Like he was like about to have sex with her. He took his shirt off and then like collapsed on top of her.
Dude.
Yeah,
That's
it was
crazy. Actually,
yeah.
that'd be crazy.
Oh my gosh, she's got a little clip of Kevin Samuels up now. You better, his podcasts are long. You better get to it quick. But
Bro.
Mike,
She said 100 grand.
hold on, we got to be quick because this can get pulled too. I think if we, yeah. So I gotta talk over it. YouTube is weird. I haven't encountered any of the YouTube bots
Not yet.
expressing their authority, but. Okay, so we're.
All right, we're watching the video. He asked what she should make X a year.
This is-
What a man should make X a year? 100,000.
You can't make this shit up. She was so like struck by how much he did not like her.
He eventually asked her, "What do you have? What do you think you have, personality wise, to offer?" And she said, "I'm funny."
Oh
That's
yeah.
it. She actually did not follow up with anything he said.
Yeah, he was like, "What do you think you
So
deserve?
You think $100,000 should be spent on you because you're funny?
Yeah, he was like, "What do you
yeah, why
deserve?"
not?
And she's like, "Guy that makes 6 figures plus, attractive, funny, like cares for me, takes care." And then he's like, "All right, so what do you think you can give in return for all of that?" And she's like, "I'm funny. I got jokes. I got a knock joke.
Who's there?
Oh fuck.
I'm broke.
Knock. Who's there? Broke bitch." Do you know any knock jokes? Mike,
Knock, knock.
who's there?
Interrupting Cal.
Interrupting. Dude, I used to know some, but I can't remember like any now. I do have a dead baby joke for you guys.
Oh,
What? Do you remember your mama jokes though?
Oh, dude, I remember there's one like your mom was so fat to get her through a doorway, you gotta grease her up and have a Twinkie on the other side. Or your mom was so dumb that she got hit by a parked car.
I remember your mama's so ugly. She entered our ugly contest and they said, "You're sorry, ma'am, no professionals."
Oh my god! All right,
I remember that one actually.
all right. How many dead babies does it take to paint a fence? It depends how hard you throw them. Okay.
Damn, that's dark.
One more. What's the difference between a pile of dead babies and a Ferrari? I don't have a Ferrari in my garage.
Oh shit!
I love
saw
dead
them
baby
down
jokes. Oh,
I
dude.
saw them down there, rate them.
What? Or whatever. Have you drank your Kamchatka?
Oh yeah.
But I was watching the show the other day, and I want to tell you guys about it. It is the dumbest show I think I've ever seen, ran by the two biggest douchebags I think I've ever seen. But it's the kind of show you're only entertained by when you're really depressed. Like when you're just like, dude,
what?
I don't want to get up. What's on TV? I'll watch the most brain numbing shit I can find. So
You should start live streaming.
I probably will. We'll start doing premieres and everything with like live chats and everything. So while people are watching, we can talk to them.
You can upload the live stream.
Well, we could have multiple. We
gotta get a bigger
live, and then we
following.
could.
No, you're good. We got to get a bigger following and more subscribers. By the way, like
People can see you're live and will just join. You get what I mean?
that's true.
And then that's how you can.
But we
We
can
wanna
do multiple
do-
platforms. We could do like an Instagram, a TikTok, like
That would
different
be smart
phones.
as fuck.
Live.
We also want to do like live streamed podcasts, but also in public. So like live from like a public place, like maybe do a podcast in the middle of A2K, or maybe do a podcast like just in
With
a
strippers.
goofy ass place.
But what he was
That's
saying,
what
I
Like
you
post
said.
up and
Every-
do the podcast in front of an abortion clinic
every
or
now
something.
and then drop like one podcast a month
Wait, what? One
Yo,
podcast a month.
on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh yeah.
And then have have it leading to your actual YouTube, so they get to watch a podcast and like, oh, I'm interested.
Speaking of
But I can't
TikTok,
watch more.
Yeah,
so
we haven't posted.
we need you. I need you
on
to.
TikTok in a minute.
I can help you if you want, but we need to start clipping out the podcast and putting some clips on TikTok because that'll spark it up. But speaking of all this, fucking subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, all that good shit. Comment, shout out Bertsky. Anyway, yeah. So this show, I was watching it. Okay, so it's these two douchebags, right? And they both act like they're in the fucking army. Like one of them feels like Snake, and the other one's like I'm fucking Chuck Norris. They talk with like all these tactical terms and shit, and it's all about these. Oh god, it's all about these
It's been too
two
long.
dudes that go and get bitten from like every insect and creature they can think of.
Jesus. What?
They do it to judge the pain.
Hey,
and put it on a pain
oh
scale.
my God! Yeah, no, I know these guys.
Oh
now.
my dude.
Oh wait.
He's fucking fighting Chad in Russia in his war simulation game. But anyway,
I
fuck,
think
okay, so it's called Kings of Pain, and these two guys will like, oh, I'm gonna get bit by a fucking massacre hornet today, and then they'll go out and first they set up base camp because usually they'll get like 3 different insects from one area, and so they'll set up a base camp and like sit on a stump and plan it out. And the way that these guys talk is just so douchey. It'll be like, Like, he just tries to make it sound like, oh, this is going to be so bad. Oh, my gosh. I can't even believe we're doing this, man. And, like, just corny jokes everywhere. Like,
And so, like, wait, so they set up camp, and then they're just, like, get these bites, and then...
Well, they'll catch them in the wild.
Yeah.
So they'll like, be trying to find a... I'm trying to remember names of some of them. Like, a lionfish or something. So they'll go out into the ocean and go catch a fucking lionfish and then bring it out.
Isn't that poisonous?
Yeah, they'll have like a doctor on the side that like has anti-venom and can treat them if they get fucked up.
Stupid.
It's the stupidest thing I think I've ever seen. Like,
Clout chasers.
I mean, just to go watch it. The way they talk is just so weird.
I've seen it, man. No, it's I get it. Like, but at the end of the day, these are things that can kill you. So
yeah,
Steve Irwin didn't even try to do things like that, where he was testing the pain. He was just messing with the animals and got killed.
Well, they would
These
try
guys are out here testing the pain. What if the antivenom doesn't work?
Yeah, I know they could get, and they
time.
make sure you know that. They'll be like, "This could kill us. Don't ever do this at home. These are dangerous bugs. All right, now fucking sting me." And dude, the weirdest one was these little beetles. I forget what kind of beetle it was, but these tiny little insects. And what would happen is, it bites you, or if you bites you and then you like swat it on your arm and you get the blood on you, then you get infected with this shit that pretty much eats away at your flesh.
What the fuck?
So they smashed it on their arm and like waited a few days and then showed you what happened to their arm, and they get like these blisters and boils and like holes in their arm filled with... Dude, they did like a close-up image of him popping one of his blisters. They literally were. And apparently these beetles are referenced in the Bible. And it's like, you know how they say the locusts come and at the end of the world? Apparently these were the locusts, because in the Bible they talk about how whatever these locusts are cause your skin to burn and all this shit. Will you put your fucking game away? Or at least talk about what you're doing while you're playing your goddamn game.
To you.
No, you need to make these people listen to you. You're the guest, and you're playing a fucking war simulation game. All right,
I gotta kill.
I'm gonna get you in the fucking groove of things.
Let's talk about the metaverse. Bro.
No, not the metaverse. We're gonna talk about something.
I was gonna bring it.
We
gonna bring it.
He was gonna
should
bring
have,
it.
dude. You would have
Pops
been
in
wobbling
every
around
now
the
and
podcast
then.
room.
Pops in every now and then.
But anyway, no. So let's talk. Do you want to either talk about the time we practically got kidnapped and attempted murder on us in South Carolina, or do you want to talk about Charlie, or we can talk about the ultimate snake story? These are all chronicles that we need to talk about every time you need to come on. Those aren't some insane stories. Which one do you think we should break out on this podcast?
I think we should end with a heavy hitter.
A heavy hitter? Are you talking snake, or the time that... You know what I'm talking about when I say we almost got killed in South Carolina and North Carolina, right?
When we were Jiggas?
Yeah. So
I think we hit them with the Jigga story.
Yeah, that one's a little easier.
But no, we should... No, not even because Marquise. We gotta add a story. Hold up.
We'll have a story of Marquise, but let's just... I'm going to get this one out of the way. This one's good, and it also doesn't concern me lawfully. But
crazy.
Anyway, so me, Robert, and a couple other people, we took this trip to Myrtle Beach, right? Because Myrtle Beach is like our spot. It's the first time I went, I had forgot about how sick.
Are you talking about the first time or the second time?
This is the second time.
Cassie and Gabby?
I think so.
Okay.
So we went to Myrtle Beach because shit was popping the first time we went there. Like, it was just a great time. It's like a poor man's Miami.
I mean, it wasn't. It started out, bro. We could talk. Oh my god.
Well, there's so many.
We bought a
avenues.
hotel, and this girl told us we weren't allowed to drink in our own hotel.
Yeah, some bullshit.
Think about that. You bought a trip to Myrtle Beach, and so
and there's Grimace. Drink. We could talk about Grimace.
I think we hit them with Grimace.
All right, dude, yeah.
I think we hit them with the Colorado, because we have the riot of Boulder. So
all right.
Boulder will know that story, too. All right, listen, okay. So
you want to start it?
You can start it. I mean,
all right,
start it how I hit you up out of nowhere.
Okay.
Hit him with where you're pointing.
So I've been stressing over working myself and just not spending enough time with the boys, which is a continuing topic. Yeah. But anyway, so I've been working a lot, and Robert had been hitting me up to hang out, and so I finally made it over to his place, and this was at 10 at night, and I went over there. We were just talking, chilling, the regular, how we would usually hang out, and then all of a sudden, Robert starts talking about, oh, I want to go to Colorado. Would you go to Colorado with me? And if you know Robert, you know that he'll say crazy shit like this all the time that usually isn't serious. Sonic seltzer break. But so he's like, oh, yeah, we should go to Colorado. This would be a blast. Like, please, bro. Like, come on. Let's go to Colorado. I'm like, no. Like, I literally... I need to work and I'm off for the next couple days, but I don't know. I can't spend money right now. I got to save up. I got stuff to do with the brand. It was in the time where we hadn't launched yet.
I've actually texted you a couple times before this, though. I'm going to add this because you probably forgot. But I was like, you want to go to Colorado? And you just kept saying, dude, I'd be so down. And I'd be like, all right, bet.
Well,
I'm going to try to figure things out. I'm going to try to figure out. I was like, could you drive? And you're like, nah. I was like, I'm going to try to figure out.
You have to admit, it's not crazy for you to randomly say, hey, let's go to the other side of the country. And then I'm like, I work tomorrow. And you're like, okay, never mind.
I remember I even texted you. I was like, hey, are you 21? And you're like, nah. And I was like, all right, I figured that one out too. So we couldn't get weed. We couldn't drink or anything without anyone 21. But I found us the ride.
Well, no. Okay, so we're at your place. You keep saying, let's go to Colorado. Let's go to Colorado. I'm like, no, I can't. I am off, but I can't. Like, I don't have any money to spend to go to Colorado. I don't have that. I have to work in 2 days. And so he's like, how about this? Let's go to Colorado. Fuck your answer, which was no. And you come with me to Colorado, and I'll pay for the whole thing. And I will handle the ride there and the ride back and everything. You just come to Colorado, and I'll get you back in time for work. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how do I say no to that? And also I did have a girlfriend that would have been super pissed. So that was another reason why I was like, I can't go.
Because out of nowhere, saying, I'm going to Colorado, by the way, baby.
Yeah, it kind of triggers females.
It was over the weekend, too.
Yeah, so, and we had plans that night or something. But anyway, he's like, yeah, I'll pay for the whole trip. And I was like, okay, fine. We'll go to Colorado. But I really don't think you can figure out how to get us there and back and pay for it and all this shit. And he's oh no,
I've got it figured out,
dude. That's what he was doing. He's
bro.
He's like, trust me.
Emoji you can send with the looking at the math board, nigga. I was like,
Next
up. I get Julian here. I get money here.
He was like,
I get the ride here, the drugs here. Perfect. Everything will work out.
Make sure you get in the mic, kind of like
legal substances. I like alcohol, tobacco.
All of this is legal, allegedly. But anyway, yeah, cigarettes. So
cigarettes. Yeah,
he was like, yeah, I'll handle it all. I was like, yeah, sure you will. And then 15 minutes passed, and he's like, all right, I got us a ride. It's on the way. And I'm like, okay, this is becoming real. And then the ride pulls up, and do you want to take it from there? Do you remember what?
All right, so swoops us. My nigga, shout out to. She picks us up.
Mike or Loud.
Then we have to go pick up my other boy. He finds some charges, so we're going to call him Sergeant Nutter. Sergeant Nutter to the rescue. We pick him up. We have to go and pick him up. And then, because he didn't really understand either. It was kind of like Julian. He was like, are we seriously going on? I was like, yeah. So he hops in. We start heading our way to Colorado.
You have to remember, this is it usually takes 2 days to get to Colorado from car.
Dude, it usually takes a month to set up a trip.
I know. There was no heads up. You started saying let's go to Colorado at 10 at night. We were probably on the way at 11:30.
And then so we're driving. We see some forest fires. Not even forest fires. The dry grass. I forget what state that was in though. But there was just dry grass on fire. I remember it was just big.
All I remember is you convinced the poor to drive us. the whole fucking way, and we did not stop until we hit the
stopped.
middle of Kansas.
And her car started tweaking. Her car.
It was smoking. It was smoking, and
it was cool. It was cool because
fucked.
Sergeant Robert to the rescue.
Dude, no, but you have to paint the picture. We were in the middle of Kansas, which I don't know how much you know about Kansas, but lots of it is like nothing. Like we are in this road, on this road where if you look to the right of you, nothing but like hay and corn. Look to the left, nothing but hay and corn. Oh, yeah. And there's just, you're on a road going straight for miles and miles, and it looks like you're around nothing. And we're on the side of the road with a smoking car.
Yeah.
And this had been driving all night, and she's like freaking out because the car's fucking smoking. And so the little amount of information we knew about how to fix this issue, we used, and then the car kind of cooled down and settled, and we're like, all right, we need to get to a fucking gas station that'll sell us some shit to work on this car with.
Yeah.
It was just coolant. We needed coolant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we went there. I forget all the shit we did. We like drove and barely made it to this gas station, and then we like.
Was it overheating? Like the car?
Yeah.
She ran out of coolant.
It was overheating. She ran out of coolant. And then also didn't we figure out from this stranger in the parking lot that all we had to do was like flip open this cap and let it air out?
Well, we had to flip out the cap, and we had to let it sit first though before we opened the cap, because if we opened it, it would have just shot all the hot water on us. So we let it sit for a second, then opened it. Then we poured in the coolant. I mean, like 20 minutes later, we're back on the road again.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw
road
smoke,
again,
literally
as soon as I saw smoke coming out the hood, I was like, all right, I need to like call my dad. He'll pull up. Like my dad will pull up in any scenario.
Marion, shout out Mr. Scheuneman.
Yeah, dude, he's an OG. He was on the last episode, but anyway, yeah. So we're back on the road, heading out of Kansas. We get to Colorado, and obviously the first thing we do is hit up a dispensary, because why wouldn't you? We had Sergeant Pickles there, or whatever the fuck his name is. Sergeant Nutter was there to cop some marijuanas, which, by the way, the prices for fucking...
At least in Colorado.
Yeah, no. It's weird, because I went there one time with you, and the recreational prices were crazy cheap.
It was like 80 or 70 for... It was 70, 80, or 90 for...
A zip.
Yeah.
And...
We bought 2 zips.
I think that was like just the place we went to, because I tried that again, and the medical weed was the ones that was that cheap. Like I couldn't find any recreational weed that cheap. But when we went, we found this place to get like crazy cheap weed.
Yeah.
And we bought a shit ton of it. And then
that's what I want to do. We need to take a trip.
I'm telling you, bro, we need to take a trip immediately.
Robert will plan it.
So, yeah, Robert will fucking drag you out into the fucking woods.
Depths.
But anyway, so we get this hotel all figured out, and we get to the hotel, and at this point, it's like, what, 5:30 the next day? Like, we got there quick as fuck, because we didn't stop at all, as you can see by the smoking car.
What time?
So we left at like 11 at night. And then we got there the next day at like 5:30. From Ohio to Colorado, no stops, just straight there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how we did that, but anyway, so we get there, and
I bet that was wild though, like stopping in the middle of nowhere, at middle of the night.
Believe it or not, one of the coolest places. We didn't stop at all.
It wasn't in the middle.
But one of the coolest places driving through was Kansas.
Wait, you said the car broke down, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was in the middle of the day.
I was about to say, what time did that happen?
We only stopped on the side of the road for a little bit to let it cool off, and then we just forced it to the gas station. But it was just crazy seeing Kansas and how it was literally nothing. Like, it was just like hay. And for as far as you could look, and like hills and shit. Yeah. But when we went to Colorado, this story we're talking about, I was thinking like, oh, we'll go, maybe we can go on a hike and like see all the scenery that Colorado has to offer, like the type of shit that I went and did with my family the first time I went to Colorado.
Yeah,
that's not what this motherfucker had in mind. So what happened? We got to the hotel, and then you were like, yeah, sure, Julian, we can go on a hike or something like that. And we asked if we could whip her car to go like on a hike or something.
Big no.
And wait, she said no?
She was being weird, bro. She was like, I'm sick. She
I'm
wasn't
pretty sure
trying to do nothing, remember?
Yeah, she wasn't because she drove the whole fucking way. We drained her battery.
I don't give a fuck.
So, yeah, we don't give a fuck. But anyway.
Cut that out, actually. Cut all this out.
No,
Cut that little part about out. You'll probably watch this, bro. Cut this.
No, shut the fuck up. We're not cutting nothing out. Everything's good. We didn't say.
No.
Nah, we're good. We're good. We're good. So, anyway, so she was cool with us taking the car to drive to a hike or whatever. I thought it was going to be a hike. And then you're throwing me off. There's nothing that actually needs cut out, right? We're all good.
No, cut out the part where I said, fuck that shit.
Fuck what shit? It was a joke. It was a joke. We love you. She doesn't watch
She knows
this
I
shit.
love her, bro.
Yeah, so it's a joke. She knows it's a fucking joke. And all you said was, I don't
did
care
not
if your
get
battery's
permission to
drained.
take her car, and she
I
knows
know.
that.
I remember.
She knows we did not get permission to take her car. We had to admit it to her, remember, in the morning?
I thought that we just had to admit the fact that we didn't end up going on a hike.
No.
All right. Well, I guess
Damn, it spilled the beans.
we don't know if we have permission for the car. But anyway,
She didn't figure it out. No, she didn't figure out. We told her.
Everything's cool. So we're driving to this place that I think we might be able to get a hike at, and then I think on the way there we looked on our snap maps and we saw this huge like area of red, which means there's like commotion going on. And so
Boulder.
It was in Boulder, and we checked it out, and what was happening was this huge street party, which turned into a huge riot. But so we were like, all right, fuck your hike, Julian. We're going to this now. And so we pull up and park and get out, and we start walking, and then we turn a corner, and we just see this whole street just filled with people. And it was like that one campus party in Columbus where they were flipping cars and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. Like, people were going crazy.
So they were all going wild, like doing the same shit? Okay,
yeah.
So, damn, like, you said it was a block. So, like, this was, like, in a neighborhood or, like,
it was like where the frats were for Boulder. It was by a college. And so we're walking through.
Wait, this is. Where are we talking about again?
Colorado.
I don't
Boulder,
know why
Colorado.
I just switched over to Virginia for some reason.
Oh, you're good. It's kind of the same vibe. But anyway, so we're on like campus, and there's cars flipped over. Everyone's out in the street partying like crazy, and we start talking to some people, and they're like, "Yeah, this used to be where our parents would party back in the day, and this street used to be like historic for all its crazy parties, and we used to go crazy like our parents did. But there hasn't been a party here in like over 20 years." And so apparently we had just happened to get there on the first party back on that street.
In over 20 years?
And like over like a long time it had been since they partied like that. And so they were going extra crazy.
Yeah.
And because they had the ghosts of their fucking family in them. I can't believe you're actually fighting Chad right now. Anyway, so we're still just walking
Probably
through
not even Chad. It's probably some other world he's got going on.
We're walking through this campus and people are going crazy and then all this. Well, there's a part of the story that I want you to tell. Talk about that one guy that we chased off.
Oh shit. Okay, so there's this dude. He was saying he was calling people the N-word. So everyone's like chasing him around and like beating the bricks out of this bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it was like he was calling people the N-word, like siding against us, like trying to blame us for this flip car we were standing next to. And then all of the people that were on his side about the car started turning on him because he had said the N-word a bunch of times. This is obviously a white dude. And so you start getting his face like, what'd you say to me? And like, then a whole group of people just fucking chased him off and are like down the
just
street,
swinging on him.
Dude, he was getting brutalized.
Listen, and so I just remember like, don't ever say the N-word, bro. I was like, don't ever say nigga, bro. I was like, don't ever say nigga. And then out of nowhere, I just hear this little white girl just say, hey, don't say the N-word. And I'm like,
To you?
yeah, remember that? That was Grimace's sister. So I turn around, I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah,
And then she's
Snow
like,
Bunny.
I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you're good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, where can we get some weed from? And then she's like, oh, because we already smoked all that shit. And then most of it we left at the hotel. So we didn't even have You know what I mean? All that
Plus,
week.
we were just looking to hang out with some people, get into some shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, he was with his sister. His sister was cool looking.
Yeah, she was she was kind of cool. She looked like she was into some cool shit. Yeah. But it was the sister was a part of this group of friends.
And then so she's talking about having her female friends come over. So like everyone's cool and everyone's like, yeah, hey, let's go.
That sounds like a fun plan.
We're gonna go to this dude's house. His name is I forget his name but he called later in the story he tells us to call him Grimace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, bet. So we go pick up some weed with Grimace. Because he has his own weed, and he's not Mitchell.
And he shows us all these cool dispensaries and shit. And but yeah, so we're picking up weed with him, and then he's like, "You guys want to go back to my place, and we can chill out and tell her girlfriends come over and shit."
And we like, hell yeah, we fuck yeah, we in Florida, we Colorado,
wherever we are, we're having a good time.
We want some shorties here,
but.
Over.
So we get the weed and the shorties are on the way, so we're like, fuck yeah, let's go back to this dude's apartment. But here's a key part of the story. Once we get to the apartment, not only does his sister say that she has to leave to go, I think she said she was going to go pick him up, but she's like, I'll be back. And then we start walking up to the place with him, right? And we start realizing how fucked up this dude is getting, because he had been drinking and smoking.
He had Zans, bro. Zans.
Well, we didn't know he was off the Zans until he started getting like ultra fucked up. Like I
did not take any of those Zans.
Yeah,
all I did was take the momentums he had.
No, we had went together. We had went together on weed.
What is it called?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking.
Mementos.
Mentos?
All right, anyway.
That's the only thing he ever gave me. I never took a Xan.
So this dude...
That's a Mento.
This dude was like crazy fucked up, and it was like getting worse by the second, and we didn't notice it until we had gotten into his place, right? And so he's like starting to like wobble around and not make any sense, and like... He sits on the couch, right? And he's like telling us, like, hey, feel free to smoke whatever, do whatever. There's drinks in the fridge.
Take whatever.
And we're just looking around, and we start seeing all these weed containers, all these containers of, like, bars that he had, and, like, just so much shit just laying around. We're like, I don't know what situation.
Mentos.
I don't know what kind of situation we just got ourselves into. Like, we start finding out this dude's, like, addicted to bars and shit.
I was pretty happy. He was going to Africa to go help some children, actually, on a missionary mission. So,
yeah.
Like, he didn't need
it. was fun,
so
but
like,
it started getting creepy because he got so fucked
aggressive.
up.
He got very aggressive with me. I almost gave him a little sterilization.
So when shit started going down in in his crib, like...
Well, he was just starting, like, okay, so he starts saying, hey... Don't call. So we're calling him by his name the entire time, and he's like, "Don't call me that."
Wait, so let me backtrack. So so you're calling him his name, and then you get into the crib. You guys are just
we're in his crib.
We're already in the crib chilling.
Shit. He's like,
chill. Chilling, just smoking.
Yeah, just do whatever you want here. And then we're calling him by his name, talking to him. We're taking the Mentos. We're smoking.
We're just chilling, and then we're calling him by his name, and he's like, "Don't call me that."
Just out of the blue.
Yeah, and
call me Grimace. And we're like, Grimace? Who's that? And he's like, me. Don't call me.
I'm Grimace. And
and he starts getting aggressive about it. And I'm like,
Yeah, and by this time he's like slurring. His whole face is flushed red. He's wobbling around like he's fucked up. Like I hadn't ever seen somebody this fucked up. And so he's telling us like, yeah, it's not my name. My name is Grimace. Call me Grimace. And so we're like, all right, Grimace, so sure thing. And then at one point he like gets up to get the remote for the TV, and there's like a coffee table in front of him, and he like literally does the cliche like face plants over the coffee table and just falls on his ass. And we're like, shit. And so, like, we help him up and everything. He's got this big-ass bump on his forehead.
Damn, dude.
He's leaking and shit. And so we help him back up to the couch, and we sitting him down. We're like, are you good? He's like, I'm good. Just call me Grimace. And then, so we're like, oh, dude, I start telling Robert, I'm like, this dude's fucked up. Like, we have to get out of here. Like, I don't feel comfortable being around this guy. Like, He's not making any sense. And he's like, yeah, well, let's just chill here for a second. We'll just chill here.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, Robert's having a fucking good time. I'm having a panic attack just worrying about this dude dying.
This thing over here tripping, bro. We're
Nah,
having a good
dude,
time.
so what happened was...
Grimace allowed us into his home to have some fun.
Yeah, it was fun, whatever. But this dude gets up, he's like, I have to pee. And he stands up and he's like falling up against the wall and wobbling and shit. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, he can't even make it to the bathroom. And like, they're like, go help him, Julian.
I forced Julian to help this nigga piss.
So I had to walk him.
Julian holds this nigga up while he's peeing.
Bro, I had to walk him to the bathroom and it was like so weird. He's like wet and sweaty and he's like, I walk him to the bathroom.
Julian held this nigga up while he peed.
I had his shoulders and he's like wobbling back and forth and like, cause I didn't want him to fall and hit his head on the counter or something. So he's wobbling. At one point he was like, you know what, man? You're not like you are in the cartoons. You're not even like a fucking pirate. And I'm like, he's just saying shit that makes no sense. And I'm like, all right, man. Like,
this nigga helped him pee.
I'm not a pirate. Yeah, dude, it was so uncomfortable. It took him so long
grabbed
to
him
pee.
by the wrist.
I grabbed him by the cock and balls.
Oh, he went straight in, just grabbed the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like squeezing it like a squirt gun.
That's what I was saying by grabbing the wrist, but he went, I guess, all the way. Like.
Yeah, I always go all the way. But so it's just freaking me out, and it took him forever to pee. And I walk him back to the couch, and I'm like, all right, dude, like we have to go. And so finally, Robert's like cool with going, and so we like pack up all our shit, and we start like making our way out to the car. And at this point, it's like 3 a.m, and we walk out to the car, and there's a fucking boot on it. A boot, like the thing that goes around the tire.
Okay, yeah.
And so we couldn't leave. Damn. Like the car was stuck. The parking people had put. You can't drive. The tire won't move. And so there's a boot on, and I'm like, fuck. Like this isn't even our fucking car. Cassie wasn't picking up, and like I was also on like probation. So I was like, fuck, like I can't deal with any of this shit. And so Robert's like, chill. We'll figure it out. And then we like find this number to call, like to try and get the boot off. And it's like these parking people, and they call them up and they're like, all right, we're on the way to help you out. And I didn't know if it was going to be police that pulled up or who it would be. I didn't know if it was going to cost money or anything. So we're like, all right, Sergeant Clippers or whatever his name is, you stand here and here's $100. Talk to whoever, get the thing off, and we'll go like wait around the corner. And so Robert goes to wait with me, and I think we're just going to like chill around the corner and like kind of hide. But nope, Robert just walks us right back up to Grimace's place and walks in the front door, and we just sit our asses back down, and Grimace is just...
That's my fucking house now.
Yeah, dude, we had literally taken over, and this Grimace is just sitting there nodding his head. He's like, what's up, guys? And so we're like, hey, Grimace, we're just going to chill here for a second. He's like, all right. And by the way, we had taken his phone and texted his sister so like she could come back and deal with his ass.
Yeah.
So, because I was genuinely concerned, and so sure you were. You were
my house
taking his Mentos, but
Oh boy! Don't make me.
hold on, no. So we were waiting.
The
in this
edibles
crib.
and wax this man had in his pocket.
No, I don't know what he's talking
Damn.
about.
And then didn't give me any after I paid for the trip.
Anyway, so we're sitting there and we're just waiting for the people to come and take the boot off, and they finally fucking take the boot off.
My fucking war with
Dude, I don't care about your war with Afghanistan. They take the boot off, and like everything's cool, and so we get in the car and start heading back, and it's like 5 a.m, and fucking freaking out like, where are you guys with my fucking car? And we're like, don't worry about it, we're on the way, everything's cool. And we like get back to the hotel, and we're pretty much like, we're leaving, let's go. And she's like, what? And we just fucking booked it out of there. She had been in the hotel room the whole fucking time.
Marquise, grab me a Mountain Dew.
And so we leave, and we're on the way back home, and we start texting Grimace, and we're like, we wanted to fuck with him a little bit. So we're like, I just wanted to get your okay. We were filming for a TV show. You're going to be on live television.
Gonna be a star.
Yeah, we're going to make you a star, Grimace. And he was like, still all fucked up. He's like, all right, well, like, I'm still going to Africa with school. Like, what if this fucks up my trip? Like, and we're like, nah, don't worry, man. We're gonna turn you into a star. Like, you're gonna be going to Ghana every weekend. Like,
You're gonna make millions, Sonny.
yeah, we're like telling him we're gonna put him on Comedy Central and shit. And then, so we're like, he's believing that he was a part of a TV show. And then there was something we tried to convince him of after that was like a step too far, and he was like, wait a second, you guys are assholes. And he just like blocked us. But yeah,
The story of Grimace was a crazy story.
and we forgot to even mention, when we were at that like party in the streets, there was like it turned into a riot. The SWAT team came.
Flipping. There's SWAT. There was water.
They started shooting gas canisters, and we would like throw them back. Like,
it was a lot of fun.
yeah, we were on the news the next day. Like, I didn't even tell my parents what I did, but I told them when we got back that we had just been in like Boulder or whatever. And my stepdad was like, was this you guys? And he shows me this fucking like aerial shot of the fucking street party. And I was like, may have been. May have been. But yeah,
Mountain Dew, bro.
the Chronicles of Grimace. What the fuck? You didn't get his Mountain Dew?
Bro, what?
Until next time, this has been the Scheuneman Show, episode fucking whatever it is.
14.
Or fucking team. You can't remember
His
that?
middle name.
Robert, you coming back on?
I'll be on every day.
We got many Chronicles to discuss.
Too many, dude. Too many.
Go to your local A2K retailer. Go cop some fucking Scheuneman. Hit up the website. Like, comment, subscribe.
If any FBI are watching, this is all mythical.
Yeah, this is all allegedly. I don't know who these people are.
Biblical stories. These are biblical stories straight out of the Bible. That's it. Fantasies.
It's not the Christian Bible, though. It's like fucking...
It's the Julian Bible.
Nah, fuck, don't put my name on this shit. No, listen.
The Holy Bible.
It's the Scientology Bible. It's when
Scientology,
I didn't even get to talk about space hotels. Would you ever stay in a space hotel?
I probably would stay in a space. I think we should save
You get
that.
so bored. But yeah, we'll save
I don't
that.
think we would. But
All right, well, this is discussion. This is
big discussion. Big
fucking
discussion.
week. All right, until next
This nigga Marquise did not talk.
Yeah, no. If you've watched the show ever, this is a common thing.
Marquise is just kind of like staring, watching.
I mean, he's supposed to be the producer, but if you see the computers right in front of me, the fucking he's gonna edit this, but he's just a good.
He be checking out your pubes every now and then.
He's just a good energy to have.
A lot of
around.
time I don't want to cut his ass off. He be talking about
I have to
stuff
steer.
I don't know.
You have to just act like you know.
This nigga Marquise just
I
wanna
don't
talk
know
about
what the fuck
marijuana.
to be talking about.
What do you want to talk about?
Then we get fried as fuck
What do you want to
before,
talk
and
about?
I'm just like,
What do you want to talk about?
yeah, what like okay.
Name a subject. Actually, before this show turns off, just name one subject you would
no,
love.
I'm just saying it's not okay. You're taking that wrong. I'm just saying like I'm not.
I'm being genuine. Like,
Let
what?
him speak for himself.
What? No, I'm just saying like I don't know what to say in that time of that subject.
But like, bring up a subject you ever been looking at just in the news, right?
You don't even have to know
I don't
about
watch
it.
the news.
You don't look at anything.
I don't watch TV. I don't watch
ever
movies.
Sit by
I play-
yourself and think about a video game. Think
I
about.
play a video game. Yeah.
Are you
don't want-
are you literally sitting
hear
here
and
telling me
watch it
that
of
you
it.
have nothing to talk about?
I mean, I have shit to
You
talk
don't ever
about.
sit
but, like,
about in
that's
your
what-
mind.
That's why I'm saying
We
I don't wanna
talk
cut
as
you
we
off
hang
and then
out.
just
All right,
start
throw
talking
something
about
in.
other
Throw
shit
something
when
in
you're
right now.
talking
Throw
about
something in right now.
Throw
talking
something.
with the
Throw something in
guest.
right now. Throw something in right now that you've just been thinking about on your mind. What's been on your mind? Marcus?
What's anything?
I don't know it, bro. That's on the spot. You know you can't just do that.
You think about Ukraine, Russia.
Try it with me.
you
Try it
think
with me.
about
Try it with me.
computers.
Try it with me.
You think? Hold up. No, wait. You think about computers. You think about lamps. Do you think about Ukraine, Russia? Do you think about fucking how the carpets are made?
Do you know I come here?
What's the
You know
what
I
do you
have
think
notes
the
in my
next big
phone
thing
of
is gonna be.
what kind of thing?
A war
What do you
machine.
think the next big thing, like computer, like a phone, like a brand new like car that can drive itself, a Tesla?
I think the next new big thing is just gonna be an electric plane.
Oh, wait, oh.
I bet the next new big thing that's gonna change life as we know it is gonna be either do robots count? Like
I mean,
common
that's always
robots.
been around. I mean, like,
Okay.
Artificial intelligence.
So if robots
I mean,
don't
yeah.
count, flying cars probably don't count.
But that's been around.
See,
Plus,
that's what's crazy.
that's like gonna be the next. I've seen a thing actually a while back though, a thing about how. Actually, I don't know who exactly was doing it, but they were gonna do flying cars and stuff. But you
yeah.
get the air traffic and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Plus, if your car
That's what I
breaks
was
down-
thinking about. If you cannot have a flying car, like we won't have like you'll need like gravitational portals that are sucking them through. It can't be
then-
personally because like you were saying crashes. You're
Yeah,
just
that's
going downward.
That's gonna end. Like breaking down is gonna turn to a whole new thing. So they'd have to make a car that literally.
Gravitational. So if you break down, you're like you go to the side of the gravitational pool.
Well, you would think they would come up with something if your car automatically breaks down. You start going down. There should be like a parachute or something that can hold the car. That would
Dude,
that would come out
down,
once.
Yeah, it's
man.
gonna be. It's a lot of weight and.
Imagine it. Okay, you know those little bridges at the hospital.
Well, you think that's a lot of weight? What are you coming out of the?
You know those little bridges
the
at
army
the
and
hospital,
stuff? Oh, what?
where downtown, where you can walk through and you look up in the glass. And you
Yeah,
can see-
yeah. So
Imagine a car with the parachute landing right on.
that's the thing.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean, man? That's
Or
why-
even if it has a
so much more
parachute,
to
if
it.
it lands on top of a fucking house, it's gonna crush the fucking.
See, I feel like planes are already enough are flying cars in their sense. You get what I mean? So there won't ever be because there just won't. It just won't work.
Yeah.
Because if a plane has a mechanical issue, like you were saying, it just comes down.
Here's my advice to
praying.
you. Two things. Number one, don't think that you have to know exactly what you're talking about to talk about it. We can just, freestyle about a
I
subject.
just have no say in that.
You can
part.
also interrupt
Yes,
and bring
that's
up.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We talked about from Indians to flying motherfuckers.
Yeah, you
I
can
know,
change
yeah.
up the subject.
But you see what I
also, my second piece of advice is I write down notes on like just random subjects that I can just randomly bring up if I ever need to say something.
Yeah.
Like I still have in the back of my head talking about this dude that got lit on fire because he got tased by a cop at a gas pump.
Jesus.
Like I write these random things down and I just like ready to talk about them. So, motherfucker, I know you. You're fucking fun to talk to. You're a good conversation. So don't be too pressured by this fucking stupid ass camera.
I'm not pressured at all by it. That's
This
the
show's
thing, I
about to
just
be.
really
This
don't
show's
have
gonna
anything to
turn
say
up for
about
you
it.
guys. Just wait.
I don't watch the news like that, like y'all are.
I don't watch the
watch
fucking
the
news. I
fucking
just
news.
think about shit. I know you think about shit
I know
too.
you do. You don't ever not.
You literally just sat here and tried to tell us that all you could talk about was a fucking video game.
No,
And then you
not
start
in
talking
that
about flying
sense.
cars.
No, that's not what I meant. No.
You're just putting too much pressure on yourself.
Whatever. Just, yeah.
All right.
This is an intervention.
All right, so I'm gonna end the show off. This was the Scheuneman Show. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe,
this like
and
all-
comment. Thank you so much.
Love you. Fucking cop
Love
rip,
you.
dude. Look at these fucking jeans. Look at this fucking. You already see. Look at this hole, dude. Nah, but in all realness, all seriousness, these jeans are so fucking comfortable. I'm not even a jeans guy. I wear joggers and sweatpants most of the time. I like to be cozy, but that's one of the reasons I love these jeans is they're actually fucking comfortable. They got elastin in them, so it's flexible. The homie here skated in them. I love the fucking distressings. Like they're just nice jeans. I'm not even saying it because they're my jeans. Just fucking good pockets. Like
comfy.
they're
Copy
nice.
some Scheuneman today.
Yes.
And go to A2K and cop some there.
You heard him. NLE Choppa was just in A2K today. It fucking hurt my soul.
He was checking out the
really?
gear.
Yeah, he was. It's in the background of his story. But we got to cut this one off. This was a good episode. I'll be seeing you again.
A lot going on in this one.
I really fucked Marquise in the butt.